Today, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to make this bath tray for under $6. It's a nice quick project to do in a day, and if there's anyone in your life who likes baths, I think they'll really appreciate this. Anyway, this is going to be the full tutorial, so let's get going. First thing I had to do was get measurements on the bathtub. This one's a gift from my mom, so I went and measured it. It was 3 feet across and 1¼ inch down to the counter. Then I went to Home Depot to pick up the wood. For bath trays, you're going to want to pick a wood that is water resistant, so I wanted to get cedar, and I found these 5-foot picket fence boards for $4.97 each, which works out perfect. I made marks at 2 and 42 inches so that the board would be 40 inches long, and that way it would overhang a little bit on each side. I also made 2 1-inch wide cuts, the width of the board, that I'm going to screw onto the tray and use to keep it in place on the back. Then I gave it all a good sanding. I also sanded down the 2 small pieces that I cut. Then a roundover bit magically appeared on my router, and I just went around all of the edges on the side that I wanted to be the top to give it a nice round feel. On the bottom, I just took an old piece of 40 grit sandpaper to sand down the edges so that they aren't sharp, but I don't want to give the bottom a full round over like the top. I made marks the distance that I needed for the little strips to go in order for it to hook, but I actually messed up and you'll soon see how. But I still pre-drilled, countersunk, and then screwed in wood screws to keep it secured. Now that it was assembled, I took it up to the bath to check, and sure enough, it didn't fit because I put the strips on the wrong side of my marks that I made. But when you do it, you're gonna just measure better and make sure that you put the strips on correctly. Anyway, it was a quick fix, and then I just re-screwed it together. It was another quick trip upstairs to the bath, and this time it fit perfect. It's looking good so far, but I took it off so that I could stain it. Before staining, I made sure to sand it down nicely, working my way up to 240 grit sandpaper. I also took some time to hand sand the edges to make sure it was nice and smooth. I used this dark walnut wood stain to give it a nice look and also to give the wood some extra protection since it's also spar urethane. While I was at it, I actually made 2 of these, but I put the other one in a separate video because the budget was more than $6. So if you do want to know how to add handles to the tray, I covered it in that video, but it's definitely not necessary. I did a couple coats of this stain, and I used this microfiber cloth to apply the stain for these coats, and I actually liked it a lot better than the brush, so maybe give that a go when you're staining. And that's it. Super simple build, but it's a really nice gift or just useful thing to have for anyone that likes to bath. Also, here's how the other one came out, so I'll put the link for that video in the description. Personally, I never really bath, but even I got in there and tested it out, and it's pretty solid. I could see how this would definitely be nice. Then I decorated it with this book and candles to look professional so that people think I know what I'm doing. The total cost of it all was really just the $497 board plus the value of the 4 screws and a bit of stain that I used, so I think it's safe to say it was under $6. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed and are ready to make your own. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next time. The next one or the next time? I'll see you next time.